Lebanon. Michael Williams, the UN Special Coordinator for Lebanon, said the use of drones is an obvious violation of Lebanese sovereignty and Resolution 1701. The government of the Maldives held a cabinet meeting underwater Friday in an attempt to bring attention to the dire consequences of global warming. The Maldives, located in the Indian Ocean, is the lowest lying nation on Earth that could be submerged by rising sea levels. For the underwater meeting, President Mohammed Nasheed and 11 of his government ministers wore scuba gear and plunged nearly 20 feet into the Indian Ocean. This is Maldives President Mohammed Nasheed.
We are actually trying to send our message, let the world know what is happening and what will happen to the Maldives if climate change is not checked. This is a challenging situation, and we want to see that everyone else is also occupied as much as we are, and would like to see that people actually do something about it.
The Financial Times reports the Nigerian government's proposing to share 10% of its oil and gas revenue with the residents of the oil-producing Niger Delta in an attempt to end a revolt by local militants. The Niger Delta generates 80% of the Nigerian government's revenue, but the region remains one of the country's poorest areas. The plan's aimed at reducing the level of violence and oil theft in the Niger Delta. Attacks on oil facilities have cut oil production in Nigeria by as much as 40% in recent years. The report of the oil revenue sharing deal comes as the Nigerian government's planning to establish a permanent military presence in the Niger Delta. Leaders from Latin America and the Caribbean have agreed during a summit in Bolivia to create a regional currency to make Latin America less dependent on the dollar. Leaders from Venezuela, Bolivia, Nicaragua, Cuba, and other nations met at the two-day Bolivarian Alternative for the Americas Summit in Cochabamba. The new currency will be known as the Sucre. Meanwhile, Latin American leaders, including Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez, voiced their support for ousted Honduran President Manuel Zelaya.
If that coup government doesn't hand over power and tries to call elections to wash its hands of it, under no circumstances will we recognize the government that emerges from elections directed by a coup. Alba must find more severe measures against the coup.
That's Venezuelan President Hugo Chavez. Newsweek reporter Maziar Bahari has been released from prison in Iran. He'd been held since June 21st. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.